world that we live in right now, as we can both agree on, is crazy. Externally, we've got things going on with politics, we've got, the war, and everyone is dealing with stress and anxiety and so forth. And so today, I'd love to speak to you about living inside out and the things, tips and tricks that we can do. So, welcome to Conversations with, I'm Laura Ratliff, and I am honored, excited, overwhelmed with joy and happiness, whatever the words are. I'm just so excited to introduce you to my next two beautiful ladies that I met, I think it was 29th of December. I don't know why that number pops into my head, through a consultation for energy, vibration, beautiful jewelry, what I'm wearing today, but we will get into that in a second. So Leigh Ann and Emily, welcome to the show today.
Thank you. We're excited to be here.
Oh, I'm honored. When I said living inside out, did something pop into your mind for you?
Well, I guess there's a couple things with what you said that, the external really is a reflection of the internal, and the microcosm is a reflection of the macrocosm. So we're in this time frame right now where we really, the biggest thing that we could do is work through our own shadows. So that's an inside job. And one way you can do that, well, there's many ways you can do that. One of them would be through wearing the vibrational jewelry, but it's all about managing your frequency. So for example, Emily does breath work. So that's another way of moving through the shadow parts of yourself, and so that we can hold more light. The jewelry is something that you can wear that's so beautiful, and not only does it affect you, it affects the people you're around. It helps support the grid in Mother Earth. There's meditation, the food that you put in your body, all these different ways of managing your frequency, and that's an inside job for sure.
So Emily, you do a lot of breath work. I've watched some of your YouTube videos, which I absolutely love. And so this is my question to you. Can breath change your state? So if we're in a stressed out state, can just simply do a breath exercise, can that do things for us emotionally?
Oh, absolutely. In my world, and a lot of anybody who does breath work with me has said that it is the most easiest way to connect to every subtle body that creates our existence. So shifting our emotions, shifting our mental state, how we're feeling physically, any pain in the body as well, connecting to the divine, connecting to the earth, connecting to our higher selves. It's really probably one of the most powerful things that I've come across, aside from the jewelry. And it just allows you to really shift whatever you're kind of going through, because what it does is it regulates your autonomic nervous system. So that's made up of the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. And so what you want to do is really relax that. There's other things you can, include in that, like cold showers, there's the Wim Hof method as well, but it just really builds your resilience, your resiliency, and just, it totally shifts you.
And I'm like a huge fan.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan. In fact, after this, I'm doing one-on-one breath work with Emily. So we're going to do some breath work after the session.
Is so amazing. Yeah, I recently did a little course about changing your state through the breath and so forth, and it can just calm you down. Because have you ever seen a stressed out person who's like breathing deeply? They're like shallow breath and like, so I think it's fascinating. And so, I will put the links to Emily below. Definitely go check her out. If you've ever had like an experience where you're deeply stressed out and you've used breathwork, do tell us in the comments below. So I'd love to chat about your gorgeous jewelry. I am wearing, I can't remember what's the name of it, Leigh Ann? I don't know if you remember.
I think that's the chakra Shakti Mystic Quartz.
Yes, and these gorgeous earrings. And so I, a while ago, came into the concept of vibration and wearing the vibrations. And so I'd love to chat to you ladies today about that, how we can benefit by wearing a vibrational jewelry piece.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start and then
Yeah.
you can hop in. Everything in the universe vibrates, including you and I. And so each one of us has a soul frequency and a physical frequency. So when we do our complementary vibrational analysis, what we do is we tell you about your unique energy signature. So that's the starting point. Learning your unique energy signature is really a sacred gift. It really is. That's what Kate says, because when you know how you navigate the world, you can support yourself through it. It makes a lot more sense, right? Like when you had yours, it kind of clicked on why you are the way you are, right?
Oh,
And it did that for me. It actually took the pressure off, because one part of me is one way and one part's another. And so then I was like making sense of myself. But then from that perspective, once we know what your frequency is, and people vibrate at different frequencies, we can utilize vibrational jewelry to harmonize your frequency. So not everybody vibrates the same. Not every piece of jewelry vibrates the same with respect to this jewelry. And so what we do is we find ones that support you. So a lot of people love gemstones. They're totally into it, but they could be depleting their energy based on what they're wearing on their chakra line. So that doesn't mean you can't have those other gemstones that you love. It's just not wearing them on your body. So we go through that. We figure out what it is you want to change or enhance in your life. And then based on that, we find out what's harmonizing, and then we help you achieve that.
Oh, I love that. I think Kate King said in one of her videos, so I've been stalking you ladies because I love everything about you. I think she said in one of her videos that she was feeling sick and she was wearing a lot of pearls. And then I don't get, if you know the correct, do you know the story? Maybe you can tell the story.
Yes. And basically what she found out through that experience of wearing, pearls or anything like that, is that it actually was lowering her frequency. So pearls, and we can get into this when we are one-on-one, if anybody wants to have an experience with us, is a water frequency, and Kate is a double fire. So, in the natural sense, water and fire cancel each other out. And so it was totally depleting her energy and actually making her worse without her really even knowing about it until she caught on to it. And she was like, okay, well, there's definitely something to this. Obviously, collected all of the information, went through thousands and thousands of asking people questions and different people and stuff like that, and found and discovered and created the system that we have today, that is the vibrational analysis.
Love that so much. It's so important to nurture our spirit on the internal, because when I meditate and I'm feeling great every day and I'm vibrating in a higher frequency, I notice things happen, like people respond to me in a different way, because they're picking up your energy and so forth. And when I met Leigh Ann, when we did our one-on-one consultation, she said to me things that I was like, that's why. Oh my goodness, like things about me that were absolutely on point. But now being aware of your personality and so forth, things happen in your life. For example, the star child thing came up in our consultation, and things have happened since then that make complete sense. So it's really nice having a moment of clarity. And so I guess a lot of your clients say that to you, don't they, after you the one? Yeah, that's amazing. And so is there any tips and tricks that we can use when wearing the tools that we're wearing?
Well, tips and tricks, well, basically wear it all the time, except for at night. So basically we call it a toolkit, a vibrational toolkit. So when you get one, you get more than one, because they work. And so you have ones for different needs. So basically it's good to wear it during the day, put it to rest at night. It needs to charge in a charging kit at night. They are blessed by a high Hindu priest from Bali. And so they really are sacred tools. They're really more than jewelry. They're energetic tools. So basically wearing it all the time, managing your frequency. I know if I'm not wearing one, I can tell. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to put one on today. And then also being able to be aware of how you're feeling with the one that you're wearing and if you're needing to switch it to something different. So right now I'm wearing a Padparasha Sapphire, which is all fiery. It's all about, Ganesh, the remover of obstacles. It's a motivational stone, but you can't wear it every day, all day, right? Because it's like a little bit, it's intense, it's spicy, but it's really good for breath work too, right? Because it's the Kundalini energy. So that's what we're working with when we're doing breath work, and I'm doing that session after. So I will have, and Kate carries around a little bag as well of like her tools so that she'll switch them out as she needs to. So I think the key is wear it. And they're made beautiful. I mean, Kate is a designer. She's inspired by spirit. So they're made a certain way. There's there's more than 3 different things. There's basically the gemstone. There's the setting, whether it's, gold, silver, rose gold, or black rhodium. So they all have meaning. There's the bail, which is the top piece, which is a piece of sacred geometry. And then there's the different shapes, and the shapes help to move energy within your body depending on what your frequency is. So it's really intentional jewelry.
I love that so much. And you said if you're not feeling it, then you would change it to another tool. So is there something that you can tell us that will help us or indicate, like, how do I know that I need to wear something else? Is it just a feeling you get, intuition?
Well, I think it's like, okay, so I have a citrine, which is like an abundance stone, and I wear it often if I'm doing events or if I'm doing my vibrational analysis, but it's super intense. And if I wear it too much, I can get spacey, right? So it's like, Emily will always say to me when I'm like, she's like, because I'm a wind, which is like a Ferrari, right? And she's an earth, so she's grounded and more like even keel. She'd be like, what are you wearing, Leigh Ann? Most often than not, it's my citrine. So it's sort of like, oh yeah, I need to take this off now. I need to put on my moldavite, right? My moldavite, my grounding stone, so that I can come back into my body, right? So I think, and part of it is, it could be like, intentional as in you have a business meeting, you're trying to land a contract. Mm-hmm. So you put your citrine on for the meeting, and then maybe you're going to chill the rest of the day and do yoga, and you want to wear something more calming, so it's like, what are you wanting to accomplish in your life, and utilize your toolkit to support you in that.
How I like to describe wearing the jewelry is like, we get up in the morning, say you meditate for 20-30 minutes, and then you're like, okay, like I'm feeling good, I'm going to go to work now. And you're driving to work, and say like someone cuts you off or whatever, putting a kink in your vibration. You're not going to like park at work and then meditate for another 20-30 minutes every single time that you get triggered. And so for me, what I found with the jewelry is that it helps you rebound from those lower vibrational states a lot quicker, so that your baseline of your frequency is just high, right? So there's high frequency emotions, there's lower frequency emotions, and when we're feeling that trigger or that anxiety or anything, that's when we're experiencing lower frequency emotions. And so these pieces help to raise our frequency so that we can move through those lower vibrations to experience higher vibrational emotions or thoughts or physical experiences and stuff like that as well too. So difference between silver and gold, or gold and silver. Gold is the highest frequency out of any of the metals or the plating that we have in the jewelry. It's all about like outward confidence, expression, more yang energy. Some people do prefer gold over silver. Generally, like fire frequencies really like gold, although that's really generic because I'm a water earth and I really like gold. So
and it's changing now too, because winds usually wear silver, but it's an empowerment, right? Empowerment is gold, and people are stepping into their empowerment and their personal sovereignty. So we're seeing gold on the rise, right? And not only on the rise in jewelry, apparently people are buying gold. I heard that gold's like at $2,000 now. So there you go.
Whereas silver is more of a yin, more feminine, more inward reflection. And so they both serve a purpose, but sometimes when you're ready and when you know when the time is right. And people have both, like you have both. I'm pretty
I have all of them.
You do, yeah.
Except for rose gold. That's the only one I haven't got yet.
Yeah. So, I mean, I only have gold.
Yet though, because like it's a continual thing, right? Every time we get
so
new
far.
beautiful gemstones, we're always putting a pile aside for ourselves.
Yeah. And then there's the other plating that we have, which is black rhodium, which is really masculine. It's very galactic. It's very grounding, very protecting. Resonates, I believe, with at 44. Which is very galactic energy as well. And then, like Leigh Ann said, there's the rose gold as well too, which is, you know, the divine feminine. So, and the goddess energy and that sort of thing. So, yeah, and that can come into play as well. It's not really, what I like about the process is that it's not really about like what we like visually. I mean, it is, we want you to wear it and we want you to like it, but it's more of what it offers you and how it's going to support you and all the different things that create it.
Yeah, I agree with that, because through my consultation, it wasn't like, I'm going to buy that because it's pretty. I'm going to buy that because of all the qualities it does for me. And it's just literally since we met, and now it's March. So I think, was it December or January when we met? I think it was December. Was it?
I think it was the end of December.
Yeah, December and March. Huge shifts, confidence, embracing me, understanding, clarity, all of this stuff. It's happened. It's amazing. So I agree with that. You get the thing that's meant to come to you. Like, yeah, 100%. So Kate King had said something in one of her videos where she had a man going through a divorce situation and was given a tool and it broke. It's because he wasn't cleaning it, right? So these tools carry so much vibration in that. Did we want to speak on that for a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So basically they absorb energy. So the thing is you have to cleanse and charge them every single night. So if you don't, it's like they're like filling and they're taking it all on. And then, you know, at some point they combust, right? They actually are energetic beings. Right? Everything vibrates and they are that too. And I think speaking to that, something that we were talking about earlier that I wanted to just provide more information on is that, you know, the importance of wearing it on your chakra line, whenever you put a fixed frequency, anything on your chakra line, because we're made up of over 80% water, your body will automatically adjust to that frequency. So I often explain it to the people that have earth in their frequency because they're logical. They want to understand, like, is this woo woo or like, is there really a scientific method here? And there is. So the science is, it's like when you're, you know, baking a cake and let's say, you know, you've got the blender in the mix, right? Whatever speed I put that fixed frequency, that blender at, the cake mix is going to adjust. Right? If I turn it off, eventually it's going to stop, right? So that's the same thing with wearing something on your chakra line. The thing is oftentimes, like for you and I, we're both wind physicals. So we vibrate at a super high frequency. And oftentimes we need grounding. And what we tend to look for are grounding stones. But guess what? Grounding stones like obsidians and jades and turquoise and smoky quartz, they're actually an earth frequency. So it goes fire, wind, earth, and water. So you're vibrating at wind and you're putting on a grounding stone, hoping to help you. What's going to happen is your body is competing with the stone. It's getting its frequency pulled down. And so there's this fight that ensues. And often what will happen is the body will throw the item off. So it'll like reject it. Or if it doesn't, like in the case of Kate with the pearls, her health suffers because the body is literally decreasing its frequency. So there's a method to the whole approach that you can wrap your head around, not just the energetic piece of it. So yeah.
No, I love that so much. And if you put it in your pocket, it doesn't work because it has to be on the chakra line, correct?
Yeah. I mean, if you put it in your pocket, it might affect your root chakra. But the thing is, and something that's really important to note is the tumbled stones are really more intentional stones. What we're talking about here is vibration. These are vibrational frequency stones. So some of them are earth grown. 90% of the earth's gemstones have no frequency anymore, which is unbelievable. So we have a lot of lab grown as well, which are bioidentical. So frequency is really essential. And so while tumbled stones, have some nice qualities and stuff like that, it's more intentional than vibrational.
So lab grown, that's fascinating to me, because my rational mind goes, oh, it's not going to be as good because it's in a lab. Talk me through what lab grown is and the benefits of it.
Yeah, so if you think, like how Kate has said this in one of her videos, it's literally like if you put a tray of water, like creating ice cubes outside here in the wintertime, or you put them in the fridge or in the freezer and then they're frozen, you mix them all together, you can't tell the difference. And when you're lab growing something, well, Kate in general is extremely picky with the material that she works with, even in terms of the earth grow material that she selects. Like if it's not to a certain quality or to her liking, if there's any imperfections, inclusions, any extra minerals and different things that can be added, which does happen a lot in the natural world, she won't work with it because it doesn't hold a high enough frequency. So like things like inclusions and having different other materials in it will lower its frequency as well too. Whereas when you lab grow something, or even if you restructure it and you regrow it, recrystallize it, you can create something that's literally perfect. And even like a lot of people are not are not really keen for that, or a bit standoffish with it, but it's ancient technology. Like we've been doing this since the times of Lemuria and Atlantis, and it's nothing new. And if anything, it's more ethical. We don't even in terms of like how it's mined, Kate is paying attention to it, because if it's blasted from the earth, it's going to leave an energetic imprint on the earth, but also on the material as well, which is that's not what we want to be doing, right? So we want to do it as ethically as we can. She has really great connections with all of the miners, or even any of the lab growers that she uses and that sort of thing. The cutters even, she's very, very picky with every single person that is a part of the process of making the jewelry. So there's a lot to it.
Yeah. And here's a picture of Kate, just so you see, she's a firecracker. There she is.
She's gorgeous.
She's amazing. And we have actually a bunch of videos. You can follow us at Empower and Heal on Instagram, and in our link tree, we've got some videos that she's done where she goes into a deep dive, and she's really animated, and she's a double fire, so she's super fiery. And she's got, every time Kate speaks, I'm like learning something new. She is a wealth of wisdom. I'm always taking notes. So yeah, and you've obviously listened to some of those videos. So yeah, please go and access them, because you'll learn a lot.
Is there any final words of wisdom that you would love to share with us today?
Okay, well, I'll start with, when we're in these uncertain times and our frequency is going up and down and all over the place, this is one way that you can do something that's not only good for you, but good for the world. You can put on something that makes you smile and you feel beautiful in, but you're really managing your frequency and getting into those higher level emotions. And honestly, we are all connected. So when you do your part in managing your frequency, you are helping humanity in a massive way. Not only the people that you're connecting with on a day-to-day basis, you're, affecting the Earth's grid, and all of that matters. So, not only that, it's going to make you feel better. So it's really a win-win-win, and it doesn't take you down the rabbit hole of getting into the lower level emotions and fear and all those things that really don't serve us. So that's my advice.
Yeah, and get curious with different ways of managing our state. Like this is something that Kate's company, as far as we know, is the only company in the entire world that's doing this. So get curious about it. Get curious about meditation if you're not into it already. Get curious about how you are managing yourself and your emotions and your thoughts and how you're feeling throughout the day, and where you're giving your power away, how you can take that back, claim more of your own experience and what you want to actually experience in this life, and using tools like this to help us achieve the things that we want to achieve.
I love that so much, ladies. You are amazing. And so, there's so many people in the world. I see it on YouTube, Facebook, every single day. People are going live. They're so worried about the war. They're worried about COVID. They're worried about this and that. And at the end of the day, we can't control what's happening in the world. And that's why I really wanted to interview you today, because we can manage our state. We can manage our internal spirit. We can embrace our faith every single day. And by using tools, we can elevate that. And I just love that so much. Please do go on over and connect with Leigh Ann and Emily. They are amazing. They have, in a very short amount of time, I think it's been 3 months since we connected, or maybe even shorter, I have had huge shifts, and I've been able to manage my state of mind and spirit and soul in a very uncertain time. So do connect. They are amazing with life coaching as well. So just go on over, click the link below, and thank you so much for tuning in today. Have a great day.
For having us.
Thank you.